We are here today at the HITLAB Innovators Summit with Kurt Hackenberger. His company is Claryx, or at least the company that he works for is Claryx. Kurt, good to see you.
Great to see you as well.
So you're kind of flying under the radar right now a little bit, aren't you?
We are flying under the radar a little bit, but we're planning to emerge from stealth in a very short period of time. We only just started the company around 6 months ago. I quit my job previously in private equity, but my brother is a PhD in biochemistry and genomics, and so we're coming together to build a platform to help hospitals better manage infectious disease.
This is your first Innovator Summit.
This is my first Innovator Summit.
So what kind of expectations did you have coming in, and what did you hope to accomplish by being here?
Yeah, I wanted to first and foremost just kind of dip my toe into the innovation landscape. Like, my own background is again as an investor. Like, I'm usually on the other side of the table assessing different opportunities and seeing like what drives value within companies. Now I'm trying to build value within my own, and so being able to immerse myself inside of that ecosystem and that landscape, I think is a really compelling opportunity. And HITLAB is the best version of that within the context of New York City.
Yeah. Can you talk as much as you comfortable are about what you guys are up to?
Absolutely. So what we're doing is actually creating a platform to enable proactive interventions to stop hospital-acquired infections. And so the way that we're going to do that is through ongoing genetic sequencing of the entire environment. So think about wastewater down in the basement. Think up in the ward, we're going to actually be swabbing, as well as doing some air sampling, and then being able to then take that, create a snapshot of the whole microbiome of that facility, then take confirmed versions of patient infections. So say somebody has MRSA, C. diff, Pseudomonas, whatever the case may be, sequence the DNA of those pathogens, find it in the environment that we've mapped out, guide disinfection and removal of wherever those reservoirs are, and then stop infections before they start.
I know doctors who refuse to go into hospitals anymore because of this very problem. Sometimes the biggest problems are the ones that are right in front of your face. So how did you guys hit upon this, and how did you decide this was the way to go?
Yeah, so hospital-acquired infections are a massive problem. Like 1 in 31 people that enters a hospital gets a hospital-acquired infection. It's not the hospital's fault by any means, but you're just dealing with a situation in which the environment itself could actually be a vector for disease.
Right.
Where we actually came from in this is not an unusual or unique story, unfortunately. Our grandmother, unfortunately, went into the hospital for a routine checkup. She ended up contracting C. diff and then sepsis and then almost dying. And I remember as a kid, my brother and I were in the hallway like for months at a time, kind of just like checking in and kind of staying by the bedside of our grandmother. Mm-hmm. We see this as the opportunity to really drive proactive interventions that can actually make a difference, because in the hospital, it's this only environment in the world where I can not only map out the environment, but I can actually drive action, because you know that there's the patient infections themselves that already been extracted from those patients.
Right.
Being able to link those two things together is what makes this a compelling system that isn't just background data that's not actionable. It's real insight into driving interventions that can actually drive real health value.
Mm-hmm. So finding out what's there and where it is the first part of the problem. Then remediation is clearly the second, but not necessarily final part of the problem.
Absolutely. And so like for us, we're starting as the point solution that's helping the infection preventionists make better decisions. But as we look to the future, we see a huge opportunity to be able to actually identify what best practice can look like. We're not going to tell infection preventionists how to do their jobs. Like, I'm not an infection preventionist, but I want to work hand in hand with infection preventionists to identify what the best course of action might be and work alongside some of the best institutions in the planet. Like, we're in early stage discussions with a bunch of the biggest systems all across New York City, and being able to then start benchmarking, looking at like which systems have like the highest propensity of X infection, which facilities may actually have a lower incidence of that infection, and being able to take the learnings from that one facility and institute them at others.
Right.
And so being able to create this flywheel on knowledge gathering, knowledge sharing, and driving a healthier world is where we think that this can be really compelling.
Sounds like this system would work regardless of any sort of physical structure problems that are kind of baked into the problem.
That's the entire idea, is that we're trying to create a scalable infrastructure that not just can be inside of one hospital, that can be in every single hospital across North America, if not the world. And so we are truly trying to create a architecture that enables us to best service any built environment, potentially not just hospitals, but that's further on down the line.
So I'm envisioning people in full body PPE and rubber gloves and swabs, and is that even close to what you're going to do?
No, we're just going to be some guys in a polo probably showing. Actually, at that point, it's probably going to be medical scrubs. But again, like we're super early. Like we're not actually deployed in a hospital quite yet. We do plan on being deployed, and we are in the final stages of negotiations with various health systems to be able to deploy this at scale. But think of us as just like completely in the background. Like, we are going to be handling the actual sample processing, the logistics, the analysis, the outputs, the hospital itself doesn't really even need to lift a finger. And that's the whole point, is that I want to drive better decision making with better data to drive more efficiency and drive better outcomes for hospitals everywhere.
Right. Well, you're really clearly going to affect the bottom line. I mean, that's, clearly that's a major win there.
Absolutely. Like, there's the cost saving side of this, but I think that there's a real opportunity on the efficiency side as well. Like, what hospitals are trying to, or forced to do every day, is more with less. And what do infections do? They increase costs, but they also increase length of stay. And so for us to be able to decrease the overarching bio burden inside of that hospital, there's a really compelling opportunity for us to actually make an argument around decreasing the overarching length of stay. So if I can take down the length of stay from 6.4 days to 6.3 days, a 2% decline, that can translate into millions of dollars of savings for the individual hospital systems that we're serving.
So you're going to take this from idea to action basically in a year?
Absolutely. Now, like, we're going to have some help along the way, but I think that there's the model itself is very novel insofar as we are at the frontier of where the technology is just becoming cheap enough to be able to do this at scale. Like, our company is built around IP that actually cuts the most expensive part of the sequencing process to less than 1/20th of the cost. And so that's the secret sauce that lets us implement this at scale. What we're looking to do is build off that cost advantage to then also look across the broader marketplace and be able to, like, be the vendor of choice, like, be fully vertically integrated, be the fastest, be the highest resolution, and drive the most value for health systems. Because that at our core is like what will enable us to not just land inside of one hospital, but land inside of every hospital.
Right. I'm sure you've been talking to people here at the conference. What's the feedback been like?
Feedback is that this is super cool, super interesting. Where's the data?
Yeah.
And the
Say
cool
it,
part,
prove it.
yeah, exactly. Super cool, super interesting. And like, my background again is in is in finance, and like for me, like, being able to make this look great in Excel, I can absolutely do that. But it's where the rubber hits the road that's really important. Where we believe that this can become really compelling is that we're picking the right partners at every single juncture along the way. That starts with our hospital partners, and so we've already signed up a retrospective analysis with one of the leading health systems within New York City, and we're looking at a ton of different wastewater samples there. But on the side of like having the right partners that are actually on our own team, like our scientific advisory board, we've stacked it with a number of people that can really push us to like the next level in all of this. That looks like Robin Patel, who's the chair of the clinical microbiology department of the Mayo Clinic. That looks like Dave Choksi, who was the ex-health commissioner of New York City back during the pandemic, and a number of others who really are bought into this mission, and like our ability to actually make an impact in hospital-acquired infections is the crux of that.
Yeah. Sounds like you have a great idea and you've positioned yourself pretty well, and clearly this is something whose time has come. And so, tell you what, about 6 months from now, come back and tell us how you guys are doing.
That sounds like a plan. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Kurt, thanks for coming by.
Thanks so much. You take care.